This is Bayliner's 335 SB. Now this is a twin engine powerboat that's designed for overnighting and weekend trips. What's really interesting about this boat is its price tag. It lists at around $150,000 with a pair of Merc 260s. That is $20,000 to $50,000 less than most competitors. Why is it? Let's ask Pat Blake from Bayliner.
Well, Lenny, a big portion of that is actually inside the cabin. Why don't we go inside and take a look and I'll show you. Well, Lenny, at Bayliner, we like to give our customers everything that they need, but not necessarily things that they don't need. This boat has an abundance of storage in it, but we don't put a whole bunch of cabinets up around the gunnels that people are not necessarily using. Also, we don't load the base boat up with a bunch of TV sets and other electronics and things like that that people may or may not use. We give them the option of picking what they'd like. So by doing that, that's a couple of the reasons why we can keep the price down.
Like most cruisers in this class, the 335 can accommodate 6 people overnight. The dinette goes into a berth, there's a forward berth, and there's a mid-cabin. Unlike most, it also gives you privacy. Now, no, I am not talking about the silly little curtain that covers up the forward berth. Come on over here. I'm talking about the mid-cabin berth entry, which has an actual bulkhead and a door, which is large enough that I can walk through standing up. Now, here's something I always look for when I'm testing a boat. If you look at the head, it's not a stick-built bulkhead that was dropped in place. This is actually a separate molded pan. This entire piece being one fiberglass unit means that water won't leak out along the edges if you take a shower in here or if you happen to spill something. It'll always remain inside the head. There's a separate drain that goes to a sump so it doesn't get in the cabin. You want to get into the heart and soul of a boat? Get below the deck and into the engine room. This one lifts up on an electric lifter, and as you can see, it gives you great access. The hull is hand-laid fiberglass. You got fiberglass stringers. One thing I really like is the big aluminum motor mount right there. It gives it a lot of strength, a lot of oomph. One thing I don't love so much, some of the wood is not completely covered with gel coat. Could lead to problems, way down the line. Before we close this hatch up, a couple details you want to take note of. There's a great storage space here for the cockpit table so you can get it out of the way. And there's lots of insulation on the underside of the hatch to cut down on engine noise in the cockpit. For a 33-foot boat, this thing is just plain fun to run. The Mercs are plenty of power. Handling is great. And with the twin engines, dockside maneuverability is excellent as well. At a 4,000 RPM cruise, you get a speed of about 33.5 miles per hour. Plenty of pep. Now let's slow the boat down and take a look at some of the features in the cockpit. A few things to note at the helm. I like the lighted rocker switches, I like the trim tab indicator, and I like the Faria gauges. Access is tough. There's no hatch in the back, so in order to access any of the wiring for any of these items, you're going to have to undo all these screws and remove the plate itself. The seating is very comfortable. You're going to like this seating, so is Mom, so is the kids. One thing you want to take note of, since the mid-cabin berth does come all the way up under here, you don't have stowage underneath of the seat where you might otherwise. Well worth the trade-off. The boat has a nice wet bar. Comes with a sink, Corian countertop, a refrigerator. It's even got a little trash compartment over here. And there's some extra stowage space underneath the sink. We all know which member of the family has the real buying power, right? Yes, I'm talking about Mom. Here's something about the boat she's going to like. Getting up to the bow sun pad is really easy. You just take those steps, flip over the windshield, walk right down, and you're ready for some serious sun worshiping. Most people are going to order this boat with a preferred equipment package. It adds a little over $6,000 to the price of the boat, but it includes some really cool goodies, including a hot and cold transom shower and a stereo remote. If you're willing to spring for another $2,000, you can also get the extended swim platform, which really just gives you gobs of room back here. Look, Bayliners are not known for being the fanciest boats in the world, but in today's economy, when it's tough enough to make a house payment, much less your college tuition payments or other expenses, a boat like this, well, it gives you a lot more LOA for the dollar spent. So if you're looking for a boat that's in the $100,000, $150,000 range, the 335 SB is definitely one you'll want to look at.